I'm Ashley.
I'm Lauren, and this is
Whispers in the Basement.
I made solid eye contact with you.
Yeah, you did.
the
But
whole
do you
time.
remember the first episode? You were like, I can't look at you while you do that because I'll laugh. Do you remember that?
Absolutely, yes. And that was the day that the lady was running around with a gun.
Mm-hmm. She was caught.
She was caught.
I don't know what happened after that, but I know she was caught.
I know she went to jail.
Oh, did she?
I don't know if
She's
she
probably
is
still there.
still there. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't checked on her.
You're. I'm just picturing you like showing up at jail. Hi, my name's Lauren. I just came to check on.
I used to work here. Do you ever watch no, probably not. The TikToks where they are pretending to be the person that comes into an establishment after they're done working here, and usually it's a waitress, and they're like, oh yeah, I used to work here, and then she'll be like, Jason, do you remember that funny story? And I was like, I feel like anytime that I went to go visit Subway after I quit Subway, maybe I was that person.
I don't think I ever did that.
I don't feel like I did, but then now I'm self-conscious that maybe I did.
I don't think I ever did that. But no, I haven't seen those.
Okay, well,
The ones I have seen, though, that make me laugh hysterically are the, hi, I'm a millennial. I have a lot of anxiety. Oh, yeah, we're millennials. We overthink everything.
because
Of course we're millennials. I drink buttloads of coffee. Things like that. And then I'm like, I feel attacked right now. because
Well,
this is
and
my
also,
life.
does it make you feel like you've never had an original thought in
Yes.
this world?
Yes.
We were talking about that this morning, too.
Were we?
About how moms feel like they're the only, like certain moms are like, oh my gosh, this is the only time that this one specific thing has ever happened to me. When like almost every single mom has experienced the exact same thing.
I mean, I guess I would need more specific.
Like the struggles of like,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You're right.
like,
Yeah.
you know, you complain about, really, you just want to be felt. But like, you know, the people that complain and they make it seem like I'm the only one that's ever had this
Oh, no,
struggle.
we have all had that struggle.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. That's the one thing about like, I would say social media, but it's really like the Instagram reels and the TikToks and the YouTube shorts, not so much YouTube shorts, but thinking back, there's been things in my life where I'm like, I'm probably the only person that feels this way or has had this weird thing happen, or I have this weird thing about my body. And now as you're like scrolling through, you see them on TikTok or whatever, and you're like, so I was not the only one.
I think the biggest one that I've been able to relate to is the intrusive thoughts.
Yes.
The
like the one I sent you the other day.
Yeah.
The fucking fan coming off of the ceiling and just like
Yep.
on your face.
I think about that stuff all the time
I didn't until you.
until I started talking about intrusive thoughts.
I say that, but I definitely think about them like when I'm. The one that really rings a bell to me is when you're behind a logging truck.
Oh yeah.
And I think of Final Destination. And I'm like,
Absolutely.
this is how I'm going out. Is this log? A log is going to fall. It's going to go through my windshield and I'm going to die.
Absolutely. Or if you think about a semi and you're passing a semi and you're like, in my head, I'm always like, is that semi going to merge over and just kill me real quick? Yep, I do. Yeah. That's my classic is I'm going to go drive off a bridge on my way home. Sorry if anybody's ever lost anybody by a car accident, but
Yeah. Yeah, that's not funny. But it's the face you make when you're doing it too, because you're like, man, I've had such a shit day. Might as well just go drive off a bridge. And you're like,
yeah.
Like,
But
don't-
to be fair, my husband always also meets me with that dark humor. So
Yes.
it's not like I'm a complete psychopath.
No. It's just really fucking funny in the moment. It's so funny.
It really is.
Speaking of funny, let's tell the story of Saturday night.
Yes. Saturday night.
Also, I need to like throw this out there because I've been meaning to ask you.
Oh no. Do you need
And
to
I'm
ask
sorry
me now or till after this?
I'm going to do it now. I'm
Okay.
sorry to put you on the spot, but was Saturday night a pity invite? Was it
No.
like, I feel so sorry for Ashley?
No,
coming
I
out me?
genuinely had nothing to do. And I remembered you talking to me about how you wanted to hang out with me. Not really hang out with me, but you were always like, oh, I get jealous that X, Y, and Z are
Yes.
hanging out with you.
Yes.
And I guess to me, we have our girls' nights, and obviously I see you for this. But then I also know that like your evenings you really like to spend with Aaron, so I don't try to ask you to do things.
Yes.
So then I was like, wow, I genuinely have nothing to do because my plans changed from going to my mom's And so I was like, oh, let me just see what time you were coming home from your plans that you had in Columbia. And did it stop recording?
No, you're good.
Oh, good. And so I was like, oh, I'm just going to go take advantage of this. Because I was also telling Seth, I was like, man, a case of High Noon sounds real good today. But like, I don't have any entertaining TV to watch to get like a little bit litty too.
Yeah,
so,
those pear ones were like the shit, by the way.
Yeah, the El Presidente plat.
Yeah.
The only bad thing about High Noons is they're so expensive for what they are.
They are.
But
I don't buy them very often either.
It was not a pity invite, but it was honestly, I feel like it was God's timing.
It was
thing.
perfect timing.
Yes,
because Saturday night we ended up at
one of our best friends' house.
Yeah, we did, and she has 2 younger kids, and one. How old is she? Like 5, 4 or 5?
I feel like I think she's
5.
4. I think she's 4.
Okay,
maybe she's 5.
Okay, and I have 2 boys, so I don't know what it's like. I mean, I have a stepdaughter, but she was not like this little girl. This little girl knew exactly, like, we're gonna play this game, and this is how we're gonna play it, and you're gonna play it just like I want you to play it.
She's
or
bossy.
else.
I loved it.
Yes. So we, we were playing. I think it started out with marriage.
Yes,
she's very much about a family.
There was a doll, a boy doll. I don't think it was Ken though.
No, but it was like a Barbie.
It was a football player. It was somebody on the
Yes.
Patriots. It wasn't Tom Brady.
And then she had a Glinda the Good Witch Barbie.
Yes.
And she hands me the Barbie and says, you get to be the wife. And I think my name was Peppa or something off of Encanto. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not really up on the Encanto characters.
And then she hands the man to Lauren and says, you get to be the husband. And Lauren just kind of sat there for a minute and was like, cool. Okay.
But also, how can I tell this little girl?
Yeah, like, I don't want to be a guy. But then it was like every game we played after that, Lauren was in some way, shape, or form like
the masculine one.
Yeah,
I was a prince
in a mirror.
And a mirror because Ashley was Snow White, weren't you?
Yes, I was Snow White and you were the mirror.
Yep.
And then we played Princess and the Dragon, and I was the princess.
And I was the dragon. I was literally anything masculine, which
it was just so funny because you were like, cool, I guess I'm giving off masculine vibes tonight. Awesome, cool, yeah.
I was wearing a cardigan and leggings, and man, I was just...
Because she didn't give a shit.
She did not.
No, you're playing this game just like this.
I guess at least she gave me the same gender, so I knew what to meet with every single time.
Yes, and then she was doing somersaults on the floor, and she'd say, watch me. Yep, I'm watching. And like most parents or adults, you're like watching out of the corner of your eye, and then she would catch you not like directly looking at her, and she would say, no, watch me.
Yeah, she was...
Look at me.
She knew what she wanted.
I'm looking. Please don't kill me.
Well, and then it got to the point where we were like, kid, please go to bed.
She was wound. Man.
Oh, yeah.
Wound.
Mm-hmm. And so then we were like having her sprint around the living room and then jumping on the trampoline.
Yeah, and that littlest one jumping on the trampoline. Dude, she got at it.
Yes, she was originally asleep whenever we got there, but I assumed that she heard us having a party. We weren't really having a party and being dramatic, but...
Yeah.
She wanted to definitely be a part of it.
I thought I was going to be her friend for like 0.2 seconds because when I picked her up out of her crib, I was like, it's okay, little baby. And I was like, even trying to like hum to her in my awful singing voice. And she did really good. And I was like, yeah, bitch, you still got it. And then she realized I was not mom. And she freaked the fuck out. And it went downhill from there.
Yeah, no. She was bamboozled for quite a few seconds and then... She was like, yeah, I'm here to ruin your night.
Yep. I'm not going back to sleep.
No. And she really did not until we left.
No.
Yeah.
Nope. We never did find your pee puddle.
Oh, yeah, because so she lives out in BFE. And
which I really don't think would excuse it either way, because I feel like you have a bladder the size of a fucking pea.
Well, yes, because I had already broken the seal before we left. And I told Ashley, I was like, yeah, I already know if I feel like I'm going to have to go like halfway between the time that we get there. So the directions that we got took us like probably 8 or 10 minutes past her house, which realistically was about the time that I went.
Yeah, you probably pissed right in front of her house.
Absolutely.
I mean, granted, her house sits like 5 miles off the road, but still.
Absolutely. But I still feel like my body just knew.
Yeah, and then your intrusive thought came in. You were like, maybe we'll find that pee puddle and slide on it and we'll go off the road. Shut the fuck up, Lauren.
I'm really good at doing that.
Intrusive thoughts.
They are there.
So we don't really have a lot to talk about on this episode. It's not a normal one.
No. But also it's kind of a good break from all of the heavy things that we've been talking about.
Yeah, because yours last time was
pretty heavy.
Yeah, it was pretty gruesome. I mean, we were talking about cannibalistic people.
Yeah.
And then the one before that, I did
that was the boat. That one was really sad, actually.
I
don't think I was prepared for that one.
I don't even know as Aaron listened to that one, but I remember asking him, like, hey, have you listened to this yet? Because he says he listens on the way to work. I don't know. Maybe he does. I don't know. But he was like, no, I haven't listened to it yet. And I said, oh, do you want me to, like, ruin part of it for you and tell you about what it's about? And then I got to the life vest portion, and he was like, are you fucking kidding me? I was like, no. How sad would that be?
Tragic,
and he was
dude.
like, that's awful. I'm like, yeah, I know.
Absolutely.
I know.
Oh, I thought you were getting teary-eyed again, and I was like...
No. It was a beer burp.
It was actually a beer burp. Yeah, we are having Yingling Lights.
Yeah, because it's Whispers in the Dark at Night.
It is.
Because I won't be here on Friday.
No, but you'll be having a blast. You're going on a little trip with your family.
Yeah, we're going to Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Maybe we'll... Nope. Don't know where that joke was going. We're just going to Minnesota.
Well,
we're going to go snowboarding.
Uh-huh.
I was not going to go snowboarding. I was actually going to like stand inside
and watch
and take pictures from afar. Mm-hmm. And the kids made me feel bad. So I had to cave and buy some pants.
Yep.
And some thermals.
Mm-hmm.
So wish me luck.
You're going to be channeling your inner housewife of Salt Lake City.
Yeah, but what was their name? Whitney.
Yeah,
Whitney was the good snowboarder.
Yeah.
Yeah. She was like, I mean, she was pretty bomb.
She was. I mean, I assume that's like a hobby of hers, though.
Well, she grew up there, too.
Yeah.
And so she knows how to do that
mm-hmm.
shit. Nope. I'm just praying that I come out alive.
You're going to it's going to be a great workout. You'll be sore.
I'll be on the bunny slopes. Is that what they're called? The little ones? The bunny slopes?
Still said that it's a good workout.
Well, fuck me. That's where I'm going to be.
It'll be great. You're going to kill it.
And then we're going to go to the Mall of America, and I plan on buying some shit.
Oh, I cannot wait.
I know. I'm so excited. We're going to the Lego store because Memphis loves Legos.
Memphis is a little slut for Legos.
Yeah, he is. Got so many. So many Legos. So, yeah. That's why we're doing it tonight.
Absolutely. And just doing a little chit chat.
Yeah.
So, what TV have you been watching lately?
Okay, so I finally finished the last episode of VPR.
Yeah, I watched that today too. It was better than all of the other episodes.
It's still episode 3, and I'm still like, what the hell is going on? Oh, it's the 4th. Oh, is it 4?
It's
See?
episode 4.
This is how like insignificant the first 3 were to me.
Yeah, no. Really, the only reason that this episode was so big is because Lisa made Sheena and Lala kind of feel bad for being so rude to Tom.
I mean, yeah.
And then you have Ariana being a big brat.
It's like a really tough situation because did he do something wrong? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Does somebody that does something wrong like that, do they deserve to be, sacrifice the rest of their life for
mm-hmm.
it? No. We are human
mm-hmm.
and we make mistakes. And I thought about this today because part of the reason I think that theirs was made to be such a big deal is because they started on VPR, not as a couple.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was like season 2, or maybe it was season 1.
I think it was pretty early on in
that. I think it was season 2 that they finally got together.
Mm-hmm.
So they've been together this whole time, but so had Katie and Schwartz.
Yes,
and they split last season. And I know that Katie didn't want Schwartz around, but it had a different feeling to it. It had a different vibe.
Yeah,
this was
They were wanting to crucify him and put him in a pile to burn, basically.
Yeah, it's almost like you don't even want him on the show. And if you don't want him on the show, then don't be on the show. Because if they keep him on the show, you just can't expect your friends to divide in half and still also remain working together. That's how
Absolutely.
I look at this. This is your job.
Mm-hmm. Well, and to be honest, Ariana, you're on Broadway right now for Chicago, so...
Let's talk about how, if that happened to me, I just would not. She had a major glow up, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
She did.
She was hurt so bad. And then all of a sudden it's she's now way up here. Yeah. And mm-hmm. not. And I'm not saying that he deserves to be catapulted
but
either.
he also
but
is.
It's almost like, dude, you're the one that's making out here. So
Yeah. Well, but he's also gotten a lot of good publicity too, because he did that Special Forces show.
Oh, yeah.
With JoJo Siwa.
yeah, he did.
Yeah.
And they were talking about how, like, at his, because he's in that band, and at his shows, people were, this blows my mind. People were paying to get in the door just to throw fucking like food at him and boo him in the crowd.
That's awful.
But let's think about this, Lauren. You wasted your money. You paid. He's making money off of this. You paid for a ticket to go to his show to stand in the crowd and boo him.
Yeah, that's...
What are you gaining?
Well, and
You
you're really just
paid
patting
for
his
that
pockets.
ticket. Yes.
Yeah.
It's so stupid. Like, if you really want to hurt him, don't go to his shows.
Yeah. Well, and that's
Don't spend
almost
money
like there are... Around the Super Bowl time, there were grown men that were going to stores to get Taylor Swift's vinyls, and they were like standing outside the store breaking them. You paid for it.
Do you realize how stupid you look?
Right.
Like, you spent your money on something that you're now breaking. That's so dumb.
Yes, and guess what?
It doesn't make
Taylor
you look...
Swift still got that sale.
Yeah, and she doesn't give a shit.
No.
Break my fucking vinyl. I still got your sale.
Absolutely.
So dumb.
It really is dumb.
So dumb. Yeah, so that's all I'm watching right now.
So you haven't started Love is Blind season 6?
No, but you might be able to convince me.
Okay.
Somebody else asked me this today.
Well, I think it's because Mandy's watching it, which
Okay.
like Mandy and I have watched it, I think from like season 1.
How many seasons are there?
There's 6.
Okay, I don't know if I
You
wanna
don't
go back
really
that
need to
far.
watch you don't really need to watch. You could probably watch the first one just to get the gist of it.
Oh no. Okay, that was a different.
But the season 6, the casting is so good and the drama is good, and it's almost like every single person. Do you know the gist of the show?
No.
Okay,
I don't know
so
anything
the
about
gist
it.
of the show is that I don't really know how many people it is, but there are a certain amount of people that are picked, and it's like men and women. They are separated into two different two different sides. So then they get to go into these pods. Like, everybody gets to meet all of these other people, and I think it's like 10 or 15 minutes each. And so you get to go on all of these like blind dates because you're never allowed to see each other. You only get 7 days to decide who you want to propose to. And then after the 7 days, you go on like a week-long honeymoon where you meet the person that you propose to. And then you get, I think it's a month where you live together in an apartment in the city, because all of these people are from big cities. So they just are casting out of like Austin, I think right now.
I'm looking it up. I mean, I've got it pulled up.
But yeah, so everybody that had picked this season, there are a lot of people that you really missed your mark on you should have just waited for this other person. So the first 6 episodes covered, I think, almost through the honeymoon. No, they're still doing the honeymoon. So I feel like it'll get interesting, because once they go home into their apartments, then they get to have little like mingle sessions where they get to meet all of the people that they didn't propose to that were also in the pods.
Okay,
it's a lot of drama. It's
Yeah.
good. You need to watch it so then we can like chit chat about it.
Okay, so
You need to watch season 6.
season 6, but episode, or how many episodes are there? Or what episode are you on, I guess I should say.
I am on 7.
Okay.
They're easy watches though.
Okay. I don't know when I'm going to binge it, but I will do it.
Okay.
Season 6. Okay. Wait, so go back to this, because now you said
Okay.
they live at some point they live in an apartment together?
Yeah, so they get their own apartment that the show puts on, but they also at the same time will go visit. Well, I guess last season one of them lived in the other person's house. So I don't know if the show puts them up or they settle in somebody else's, but they end up visiting each other's apartments also.
Can you imagine? I'm just sitting. That's what's giving me anxiety. Can you imagine living with somebody that you don't like?
No.
Because I have fears about eating around people that I don't really know. Like
Yeah.
I know that sounds so dumb, but when I would go on a first date, there were so many things I was scared of. I was scared of what were we going to have to eat, because I don't want something that's I know.
No,
I just
know
don't want
exactly
something
what
that's
you're
like
saying.
super sloppy. I'm not going to it takes like a year for me to get to the point where I'm like shoveling food in my mouth.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Also, can we talk about the bathroom situation? Because that would also make me.
Well,
I know
especially
everybody
going
does,
straight
but
into
it's just
going into the honeymoon where you're drinking every day, the
yeah,
alcohol shits.
yeah.
How do you get around that?
Or yes, or like sickness. Like I don't want like if I'm throwing up, nobody's a pretty thrower upper, but
No.
that it takes a lot for me to reach that point where I'm like, okay, yeah, help me. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I can't imagine. It makes my stomach hurt thinking about that.
Absolutely. Well, and
Or like
you also,
sleeping with somebody because like
a lot of the couples don't
they don't sleep
together.
in the same bed.
No, they sleep in the same bed, but they don't like hook up the first.
No, yeah, I know,
Yeah.
but I'm saying like even just sleeping in the same bed as somebody.
Yeah. It's crazy. The whole thing, the whole idea is crazy, but there have been some couples that are thriving after the show.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, that's a really good dating show. And then The Ultimatum is a really good dating show, which is, I don't love the idea of it, but I love the drama because The Ultimatum is about these couples that go on and one person of the, like, out of the relationship really is like to the point where like you either ask me to marry you or we're getting divorced. And so they go on this ultimatum with all of these other couples and they basically get to choose after a week, like, do I want to have a test relationship with somebody else out of one of these couples that's also here? It's wild.
it's like giving me heartburn.
I would never
Maybe it's the
willingly go
beer,
on
but I
any of
think
these
it's giving
shows.
me the heartburn.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so are you watching anything good that's not trash TV?
Yes, I watched Am I Being Unreasonable on Hulu. It's like a British thriller comedy.
I gotta get my Hulu stuff back then.
It's
I've been logged
really
out
good.
and I don't remember what my stuff is, so.
It's only 6 episodes,
Okay.
but it was like, I don't know if I would necessarily say it's funny, but like,
I got a good one for
it's
you.
good. What is it?
I think it's called Griselda.
Okay, is that good? Because it's been one of the
Yes.
Netflix
Yes.
top shows. Okay,
Yes.
I'll add that to my
Now,
list.
it's not, from what I read, it's not like super based. It's off of her life, but it's kind of more glammed up, I think.
Obviously.
But it's fucking insane.
Okay, I'll have to watch that then.
That one's good. Yeah. See, that's the stuff I watch. I don't watch the trash TV.
I love trash TV. You're slowly getting into trash TV.
I sorta. Yeah.
It's like a peer pressure thing where
It is a peer pressure
because
thing.
I like to watch it because I like to have stuff to talk about with people.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I just watch QVC. I'm just kidding. It normally plays as background for me.
absolutely. I mean, you
Background
still
noise.
sometimes watch it though.
Yeah, I haven't bought anything off there for a very long time.
I'm
though.
so proud of
I say
you.
a long time. It's been probably,
Like a month and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Are you listening to any good podcasts right now?
Oh, somebody sent me one the other day. Hold on and I'll tell you. I got to pull it
Okay.
up on my Spotify.
Really, all I'm listening to right now is Big Mad True Crime.
This one's called... Oh, shit. It's gone.
Oh no.
Hold, please.
There's nothing worse than that.
Oh my gosh. All of this stuff I search is insane. It's called Blurry Creatures.
Oh, I've never heard of that.
Van recommended it to me.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. They have a lot of episodes. So he recommended it to me, and then we somehow got on the talk of the Book of Enoch
Oh yeah.
and things that are taking place in Israel right now.
Yes.
That's the rabbit hole we traveled down that night.
You should
So
cover that.
I may. The
That would
Book
be-
of Enoch or all of
Like
it.
all of it. Like all
Yeah.
like the Book of Enoch and then like the conspiracy theories that are
Yeah,
tied
because
into
I
it.
read him out, or I asked him, I was like, have you actually read the Book of Enoch? And he was like, yeah, he started the actual book, lost it, and had to finish it in the audiobook. I actually have the book, so
Oh, nice.
yeah. Yeah, so that one, still a hardcore Morbid fan, and Creeps and Crimes.
Creeps and Crimes is good too.
Yeah. What was the one you mentioned?
Big Mad True Crime.
I need to look at that one, and yeah.
I just
need to
really
look at
like
that
her
one.
voice and she's easy to listen to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, there's one more, but I cannot remember what it was.
I'm really not in my podcast era right now. I've been listening to music more than anything.
But is it good? Is it new music or no?
Well, there's that Kate Tomlinson that I recommended forever ago. Let me see. Before I answer this, did you see that Beyonce is releasing a country album?
So I saw this, but through Instagram Reels, and was very confused by the reel, but did not research it.
Yeah, so she's doing a country album.
No, somebody told me that too.
Also, Lana Del Rey is doing a country album.
So I could see Lana doing it because she seems like more of a versatile person.
Yeah.
Beyonce, I'm a little shocked about.
Do you remember Lorde?
Yes.
Okay, so did you know that Lana and Lorde have beef because Lorde was heavily inspired by Lana's vibe? And so, but Lorde blew up. Mm-hmm. Granted, Lana has her her listeners, but Lorde blew up and went basically top 50. Now she's not doing anything. But, so Lana was really upset by that.
It happens.
It absolutely does.
Yeah.
But yeah.
You lose the limelight eventually.
Yeah. But now Lana's getting all of the Taylor Swift PR. So I feel like her time's coming. Maybe she's also sold her soul.
I mean, she's been big before too.
Yeah.
Not as big.
She just she'll have a quick hit and then just fade right back down.
Oh, you think so? You think she's drinking the golden juice?
I don't know. She could be. She
Part
did
of the
post,
Illuminati now.
So before the Super Bowl, she did post, because the thing to do on Instagram right now is you post snippets of your week or what you're doing. So it's just random pictures from your week.
Okay.
And so Lana had done a slideshow of pictures, and in one of the pictures she was holding a gun, a pistol, which is very Lana.
Okay.
If you listen to her music, that's very Lana.
Mm-hmm.
So it was speculated that she was not initially invited to Taylor Swift's suite because Taylor did not want to be seen with her because she had a picture with a gun. And so then, whenever they initially greeted at the Super Bowl, I didn't actually watch it, but I saw pictures. Lana was down in the stands and Taylor was in her little box, and they were shaking hands through the glass or whatever. Mm-hmm. And so then Lana ended up getting brought up there.
Interesting. I say that a lot. I always go back and listen to our podcast. I'm like, you say interesting a lot. It's because I don't know what else to say.
I mean, yeah.
Other than interesting.
Yeah, really. The Crow Boys. I'm really into them right now. Other than that, I've been really listening to a lot of old Lana Del Rey.
Oh my gosh, are you back on it?
Only because nothing else really sounds great right now, but it's familiar.
Are you feeling your summertime sadness?
I got that summertime sadness.
Mine just is kind of all over the place here. So I'll just tell you things that I search.
Okay,
are you ready?
ahead,
This is how bipolar it is. All right. We have, let's start. We have Rent, the musical, Drake,
Okay.
Pink Floyd, Corey Taylor, The Temptations,
All right.
all out of the 80s, Sublime. And then the last thing, Fifth Harmony.
That is
Quite the smorgasbord.
But that's also you.
All over the place.
Yeah, you're also
All over
really
the place.
well versed in music. I feel like you know a lot of music.
I do know a lot of music.
Yeah. So, did you see that Ruby Franke was sentenced today?
So now you talked about how you might cover this, so you don't have to disclose a whole lot of information
Right.
to me, but I don't know who she is.
So I truly did not know who she is until she hit headlines. But she's a mommy vlogger on YouTube, and I think that their channel was called 8 Passengers. They're out of Utah.
Oh, okay. This
Mormon.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, not every Mormon is a terrible person, but I feel like the Mormon culture has a lot of mommy bloggers in it.
You did cover
Because
the FLDS.
Yes. But there's a lot of kids, so there's a lot of content.
Right.
So, it came out that she was abusing her children. And
does she have 8 kids?
yeah,
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure 8 or 6.
Okay.
But yeah, they all vary in age range. They weren't all back to back to back, but because some of them were out of the house at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But her husband was not living with them at the time of her arrest, but one of her best friends was in on the abuse. And the abuse I know that like there was one prosecutor that basically compared it to like a concentration camp.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So I think I will cover it just because it's such a fascinating story, and I can also go on a huge tangent about how I feel like you should keep your fucking kids off the internet. That's something that I'm very passionate about.
Yes.
Yeah.
My kid's on the internet, but it's just his hands.
Right. I mean, like...
He's a plushy YouTuber.
I'm mainly talking about, like, kids that can't consent to.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just me.
No, I agree. It's dangerous.
It's very dangerous. And people are always like, oh, it won't happen to my kid. But there's a girl I know from, like, our town. She's not living here anymore because she's, like, traveled with her husband that's stationed in the military somewhere. But somebody that attended their church where they live was contacted by the FBI, and her kid's picture was like they're doing this like artificial thing where they're attaching a kid's face to
like
a
an
naked
AI.
body, and yeah, it was on the dark web, and it was CSAM.
So so you don't even want to like post pictures of your kids
No.
at all. Gosh, that sucks.
Yeah,
Because like Facebook, I use it more just to keep connected with friends and family that I
well,
don't live
and
here.
who got the pictures from her Facebook was a family friend. Yeah.
Oy.
Yeah, that's a
No,
hot
boy,
topic
no.
that Seth and I talk about is if we ever have a kid, will we put our kid on Facebook?
Just do me a favor and either do or don't. And
Correct.
If you do,
That's what
don't
I'm not
just
going to put
slap-
this. I'm not
Thank
going to put
you.
the stickers on. No.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That drives me nuts.
Like, you know, I might
get
do
it,
like the
but still.
initial like whenever they're born, like as an announcement.
It just sucks
But
because
You
and
want
not-
to share,
Yeah, not that everybody gives a shit.
Right.
I mean,
but I do. I love seeing the first day of school pictures. The Christmas morning pictures are my favorite. That's like part of my favorite part of it, not as a creepy way, but like I just love watching people's kids grow up.
yeah, and I think there's a difference. Like, don't overdo it.
Yeah.
I don't care that your kid took a shit today. I don't care.
I don't want to know that your kid is sick. all
When
the
they
time
said
either.
their first word, or there's like a funny picture after they ate a bunch of spaghetti or something, I care about that. I think that's
Right.
cute. I don't need to know every single step of their life.
Mm-hmm.
And there are some people that will literally post that.
I know.
It's too much.
It is.
You're looking at me, but
No, I agree.
I know who we're talking about right now.
There are a lot of people that do it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There are. Yeah.
Not really shaming you, but also like,
Can you slow down a little bit?
please, it's okay.
Just a tiny little bit.
I love you and I support you, but also like keep your kid off the fucking internet.
Yeah, there's definitely a fine line for sure. So yesterday, because I was like trying to come up with ideas of what to do today, but nothing was just like real. I've got a ton of books upstairs that I need to read.
Right.
I just, time right now. I will get there, but I was like, you know what? I will just do some research and figure it out. But one of my really good friends, Chelsea, she dropped a ton in my Snapchat conversation with her. Let me see what she posted and I'll show you, or we'll talk about it real quick. So they're all local. They're all local mysteries. I say local. Some are local here, but some are like state local. Mysteries or cases, murders, things like that. One of them was about the Demon Bridge. Have you heard about the Demon Bridge?
No.
It's in Knob. It's called Enoch Knob Bridge.
Enoch.
I feel like it's down south.
Okay.
But it's a bridge that is supposedly haunted. So I kind of read on that one a little bit. There wasn't a whole lot. It was just that like, it's like all of your other haunted bridges. During the day, it's fine, but at night, when you go to drive across it, you hear kids in the woods screaming, or this one talks about how you can hear demon dogs and you see weird lights and things like that. So maybe I might try to stick that in an episode later, but like just a blip of it because there's really not a lot of information.
Right.
The other thing I looked up was the spook light. Have you heard of that one?
No.
I've heard of the...
You're just like, well, because you hit me with a bunch last night
did.
too that I was like, I've never heard of this.
Yep. So the spook light is actually down around Joplin, and I knew about this one because Aaron's dad talks about it a lot. Now, it's on one specific highway, just I think it's like south of Joplin, and you can no longer. You used to be able to park your car on the side of the road to see this light. Nobody can figure out where this light's coming from, and it like bounces around
In the sky.
Nobody can figure out
Okay.
where it's coming from. But you just can't park on the side of the road anymore. But if you're driving down the highway, you can still see it.
Interesting.
I have never, we have never made the trip to actually try to look at it. But talking to Aaron last night, he was like, "Oh yeah, we should try to go do that." I'm like, I mean, maybe, I guess. Yeah. So that was another thing that she threw at me. And then Momo.
Okay, yeah. Peyton and I thought that you were talking about something completely different.
I don't know
because
what the fuck that is.
The Momo that we thought you were talking about is this character that encouraged kids to kill each
Oh,
other.
yes. That is not the Momo that I am talking about. I am talking about Momo, the Missouri Monster, which is comparable to Sasquatch. And
I believe that.
I mean, so here's the stuff I've read on Sasquatch so far, and Momo. So, Momo supposedly, first off, there's a movie about it. Don't ask me how good it is. I didn't watch it.
Okay.
It came out in 2019, but it's again called Momo, the Missouri Monster. And supposedly the story goes that there were some sightings in Louisiana, Missouri. Do you know where that's at? It's just north of St. Louis.
Yep.
In between St. Louis and Hannibal. So anyways, there were some sightings of Momo in that area. Pike County is the county over there, in the 70s.
I feel like Pike County gets all the cool wildlife because I'm pretty sure that there were elk spotted at one point.
You're probably
there.
right. It's a beautiful area.
Yeah.
It's really cool. It's next to the river. So, but yeah, the story goes is that there were sightings of Momo in the early 70s over there. And what I have read about Sasquatch is that he terrorizes animals, specifically dogs. He likes to get them riled up, and he stinks to high heaven.
Well, kind of like bears, I would assume, because bears smell really bad too.
Yes. So Aaron's mom told us this story before they had kids, I believe. Her and Aaron's dad lived in Arkansas. And they lived in, like, I think his dad was going to school to be a preacher or something like that. And so they lived in this, like, really small, I think not, like, super nice house out in the middle of nowhere. And they had, I don't remember if she said they had, like, 3 dogs, but she did tell us one time, like, she was home alone and the dogs just started going fucking crazy. And she could hear something on the front porch and she could smell like death. It's just this awful rancid smell. And supposedly around that time people were talking about sightings of Bigfoot in that area.
Oh.
And so she thought maybe that's what it was. But yeah, so I read about that a little bit. And then what else did I read about? These are cases of like murders that happened here in our town. Some of them happened in the early 80s, though, and some were in the 90s. She also sent me the thing on the lost city that's supposedly underneath our town. Have you heard about that?
No?
Yeah. Legend says lost city found under Moberly in 1885.
Oh, that would be fun.
Supposedly it contained giants, like skeletons of giants. I don't know. But anyways, some of the cases that she sent me were State versus Lay, State versus Reed, and then Hazel Hess.
Yes,
she is a woman from the 90s that went missing and they never found her.
Unsolved mysteries. Really,
I don't like it.
They really mess with me.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of them.
It makes my head like hurt.
Yes, it
Don't
absolutely
like it.
does.
She actually went missing from right over, like not too far from where I live.
Oh,
In like 96, I think, is when she went missing, and they've yet to find her.
that's terrifying.
Foul play was found at the scene. But yeah, those are some ones that I may take a deeper dive into or do like a couple on an episode if there's not a whole
I think
lot.
that's a fun idea, is to hit a couple in one.
Yeah, if you just can't find a whole lot of information, just do a
Because that
couple.
has stopped me from looking up some things because I'm like, wow, there's really not much that I can talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, what'd you think about that little blippet that I sent you? Oh, that was it's called the Haunted Castle, and it's in Brumley.
Yes, that was crazy.
But that blippet I sent you was from the Crescent Hotel.
Yeah, the Crescent Hotel. That was wild.
I'm gonna read it. Hold on, I gotta find it. So basically, there is a house in Do you know where Brumley is?
No, I don't.
Okay, so Brumley's like over by Lake of the Ozarks.
Oh, okay.
Down in that area.
Yep.
So this couple bought a house in Brumley. It's a very small town. I don't even think Tuscumbia is that big either.
I don't think it is either.
But this house used to be a doctor's office.
Okay.
And it's also got the burial ground of like some of Civil War soldiers.
Not good.
Another thing that I read about it is that, which Aaron confirmed this because when him and Shanna were together, they built a house down there. There's a lot of limestone down there. And that house was built on a solid limestone piece. Limestone is a huge conductor of like paranormal activity. It's because it's like magnetic. It causes like a force field kind of. So yeah, but that couple stayed at the Crescent Hotel, and they documented some happenings that they had happen while they were staying at the Crescent Hotel. And the one that scared me the most, I'm going to read this.
Okay.
And then you can have the mic.
No, you're good.
But so it says Judy and her friend ran the recorder the second night. They have the best footage I've ever seen anywhere. I mean, this is one of those things you say you either faked it or a ghost got in bed with you. There's no pixelization. I mean, this is really, really clear. So the video's going. Judy's asleep on the edge of the bed. Her friend's right next to her. This other half of the bed, there's nothing going on. On camera, it looks like the sheet starts to rise like a wave. It looks like somebody pretended to be a ghost with a sheet in it. It's undilated and going higher. But through that, you can see the real sheets. They aren't moving. And it goes on for about 7-8 seconds. Then there's a tug. Then a head does pop out. So now there's a third person in the bed, and they had no clue.
Ugh.
What would you do if you like had the best night's sleep and you're like, oh, I love this hotel's so cool. I had the best night's sleep last night, and then you rewatch what happened while you were fucking asleep, and that's what you saw.
No, I mean, I feel like it would be a very similar feeling to whenever we talked about how if you check your camera in the morning, and because the other morning we had a storm in the middle of the night, which was very random because it was February. Yeah. And it was thunder, and I was really thrown off because it woke me up, or first it woke my dog up, which woke me up. And I was so confused because I was like, is that thunder? And then I like naturally checked my phone because I was just awake.
Right.
And it says motion at your garage. And I was like, oh my God, what could be there? It was a fucking stray dog. I was so mad. It was an hour ago, so like I guess if it was a person, I'm screwed. But that also like messes with my sense of security.
Yeah.
But yeah, no.
I think in an instance like this, though, like if you see something that happened like that while you're sleeping, I think the way my brain would work is it would be like, okay, logically, this is probably what happened, because I feel like
you'd be trying to rationalize it.
Yeah, I feel like my body would be like, that could never happen. So it's probably this, or this. I don't think that I would be like, holy fuck, that's a ghost, we're leaving. I don't think I could. I don't know as I would be like that.
Well, because we had a coworker who went through a really dark period of her time, but in her own words, she was experiencing spiritual warfare that actually she could see. You can probably tell the story better than I can, but
she sent me a video, and there was a night that she was like out on the back porch. She had just walked out the door, and she was lighting a cigarette. Mm-hmm. And from the corner of the video, you see something black come up out of the corner and touch her arm. And then you hear Missy yell, and she goes, oh my God, what the fuck was that? And I think she goes back inside. But the first time I watched that video, my brain said, it's a frog.
Oh.
A frog jumped up and touched her. Uh-huh. But when I went back and watched it again, I kept trying to see like, oh yeah, like pause it. Yep, that's a frog.
Uh-huh.
I couldn't do it. It looked like a hand. It looked like something, a black hand coming up and literally touching her forearm.
Well, and she said that at that time, why she really just believes that it was spiritual warfare is because she was just having really like terrible thoughts. And she was actually asking lots of people of her church to pray for her and just keep her in her thoughts. And so she was like, I just feel like that is exactly what it was. And I was like, gosh. And I mean, now she has such a great story.
Yeah.
And she's writing a book about her just whole life story. And
she's got one hell of a life story.
Yeah, she just kind of told me a glimpse of it. And I was like, gosh, I love seeing a story where people have just overcome all of the adversity and challenges of their life.
And you would never know that.
No, because she is the nicest, sweetest person. Yeah, I love her.
Yep.
Yeah.
Same.
Ugh, it's so
Same.
crazy.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, I thought this was such a fun episode.
Yeah.
I mean, I would love to do this like maybe once a quarter, honestly.
Yeah. Just nonsense. Wow.
Nonsensical?
Nonsensical
You got it.
ramblings. You've had the same problem these past couple of days with words. So
Absolutely. I can't even, I feel like even typing things, I will hit send before I actually look at it. And then I'm having to correct myself, but then my phone is still like, wrong word.
No, I do that all the time. And then I
Okay.
get pissed. And then my final response is, fuck.
Mine's always like, you know what I mean, in like all caps. You probably don't, but you better.
I'll read between the lines and try to figure it out.
So leave us a comment and let us know if you do like these type of episodes, or if you just never want us to do them again, because I guess we can also fulfill that for you.
Yeah.
But this was fun for us because even though we literally talk all day, every day, we still found things to talk about.
100%. Yes.
Yeah. All right. So that wraps up today's episode. You can find us on Spotify, YouTube, Amazon Music, and Patreon.
Don't forget to subscribe, leave a 5-star review, give us a thumbs up on YouTube, and hit that notification bell so you can get an alert every time an episode drops. So tap the app, guys. Tap that
the
app.
app. Oh.
Tap that app. You didn't match my vibe.
I
It's
did
okay.
not.
It's
Sorry,
okay.
buddy.
It's okay. Fine. Tap the app.
We'll see you next week. But in the meantime,
Stay strange, my friends.